Well, last night was an opportunity for those participating in the Wounded Warriors weekend to get dressed up and enjoy a gala as a way to say thank you to those who gave us so much.
Not good enough for anyone else to hear. Come on, you know what it's saying.
150 troops, vets, and first responders enjoyed a night of dancing and entertainment dedicated to them and their services.
This is the least we can do, is come out and try to make them feel good and try to enjoy ourselves and hope that they feel the same enjoyment.
The men and women took part in retreats and support groups over the weekend as they take a step forward in their healing process after having dealt with trauma in their line of work.
Everybody's getting together and they get it. It doesn't matter what every person has been through. We've all been through something, and it's really beneficial healing process.
It's about being in the community and face-to-face, a grassroots approach to loving on your brothers and sisters.
It's because of support groups like Wounded Warriors that these brave men and women don't have to suffer in silence.
You can defeat PTSD. You'll never get past the moral injury, but you will be able to function normally.
Although the road to recovery may not be an easy one, it's a road they have chosen as they strive to heal.
Each individual, when you look at all the individuals here, will be on a different point on their road to recovery. All will have acknowledged that they have a problem.
By providing an outlet of support, the Wounded Warriors weekend has saved many lives, and it gives heroes a weekend they won't soon forget.
Not only would I encourage people to come all the way, I would come back myself in a heartbeat.
And the festivities continue today as Wounded Warriors enjoyed a morning of golf and fishing before heading to an afternoon hoedown at Lakeland College. As Josh Ryan explains, American participants are relishing their experience in this place with its people.
Day 3 of Wounded Warriors weekend went along much as the previous two. An enjoyable time for everyone involved and words of high praise from those visiting for the first time.
Excellent feedback from the attendants, which is the main thing. We have to make sure they're having a good time, and it's been relaxing.
Among the many new participants is John Krotek, whose business network Green Zone Hero supports companies and organizations that support veterans. This has given him the chance to meet more business owners in Canada.
Then we can make our country stronger, but we can also show our veterans and their families what they mean to our economies.
Krotek is also part of a military and combat speaker consortium Bravo 748, along with Jamie Burton, who joined after her son passed away 10 years ago.
I decided I was going to honor him somehow. And then I met Bobby Hinline. And when I met Bobby, he and I started this speaker consortium. We thought we would only have 2 people on it, and right now we've got about 32.
Along with admiring the local landscape, American participants have consistently praised their Canadian neighbors.
The camaraderie, the nicest people, compassionate, and I can't say enough for the people that we have encountered here.
This was clear to many as soon as their plane had landed and they had begun the road trip to Lloydminster.
I truly saw the heart and soul of Canada, and all the veterans that I came with touched their hearts greatly and made us realize the common bond between Canada and America and the character of our countries.
And that dynamic has contributed to helping those suffering from PTSD.
There is great success stories that come out of this, and when they say it saves lives, it's not just a figure of speech. It's literally saving lives.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
This is Newcap Sports.
Welcome back. 50, that's the total points scored between the Lloydminster Vandals and the Calgary Gators at the Lloydminster's final home game on Saturday. Unfortunately for one of those teams, all 50 came from one side. Lance Phillips with more.
Just over 10 minutes into the first quarter, it was 21-0. By halftime, the lead was increased to 48, and when the final whistle blew, it was the Calgary Gators leaving Lloydminster with a 50-0 win over the 3-5 Vandals. It was a finish to a relatively good season that's left the team feeling dejected.
It's tough. It's tough mentally, and it's kind of tough physically too, because usually the games that get out of hand, we're definitely outsized, I guess. The teams often have a really big defensive fronts and everything. So, mentally you just kind of try and gather yourselves. You try and be a little bit more patient, I guess. You can't force things to happen.
But it's not the first time Lloydminster's experienced this kind of drubbing. Against the top 4 teams this season, the Vandals are 0-4 and have been outscored at 239 to 22. Stats that, while shocking, make sense given the surrounding logic.
They click on offense, they got everything figured out on defense, and you can tell their timing is always excellent, and it makes it really hard to play against because, you know, some of us, we don't have as much practice as we'd like, but it's something that we're working on, and it'll get better.
We don't have guys committed, so we're not all on the same page. It's just hard to get in a rhythm. Like, when no one shows up to practice, we're not on the same page. We come to the game, and we just don't know what we're doing. Guys don't know their responsibilities. It's just lack of effort. We're low on the sideline. No one has any confidence, and our minds aren't in it.
Arguably, the lone bright spot Saturday came from Lloydminster's second half play. Defensively, 2 points allowed, and offensively, first downs and positive yardage.
We come out flat like a lot of games in the first 2 quarters because it's about timing. And in the second half, we come out hard, we play hard. Being
a little bit more patient, kind of settling in a little bit. It's quite a lot when you get full on, 6 or 7 people blitzing in your face, and it's hard to keep your composure sometimes. And just figuring out what the defense is doing and knowing what plays to call, a lot of that just kind of factored into it, and we were starting to figure it out in the second half.
But figuring it out that late in the game won't help the Vandals if they're to win a first-round playoff matchup against the Central Alberta Buccaneers, one of those top 4 AFL teams.
Well, I think we got 2 weeks off before, we got the long weekend up, so there'll be no game there. We just got to get as many guys out as we can. We got to get on the same page and, just make sure we're physically, mentally prepared for this.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.